Self-development with tactics. So, another Stoic advice, which is called or titled, I have not been careful with someone else's health. At first I thought, well, why? But then I thought, well, actually pretty interesting. So let's actually read it. Feel free to submit a question for this column, addressing it at a Massimo at howtobeastoic.org. Note, this post is part of a special 1-week marathon of Stoic advice, which is made necessary by the sheer volume of requests I keep receiving. If you have written and I haven't gotten to your letter yet, please be patient. If you're interested in the other features of this blog, we'll resume regular programming next week. Our rights. I recently met a woman who I like and feel attracted to. The problem is that I contracted a skin condition that is highly contagious. Nothing serious, it actually goes away on its own, but it's pretty unaesthetic because it causes wart-like lesions. Instead of knowing that I had one of these lesions close to my lip, I kissed her and therefore maybe spread the infection to her skin. I've since confessed this to her and made it clear that I will take care of the medical expenses in case she gets a confirmed diagnosis of the condition. Removal of the lesions is pretty uncomfortable and costly. Apparently, she has since forgiven me or not taken the matter as seriously as I do. I inferred this because we keep seeing each other. A friend told me that since the condition is harmless, I have done nothing serious. I cannot help but I think that although her health is not compromised, I have unnecessarily caused her an annoying and bothersome predicament, all because I could not contain my impulses. The fact that she has a child and may spread the infection to him only makes my guilt worse. Also, there is the possibility of having lost a significant romantic relationship. It's something that creeps up my mind from time to time. Obviously, I will have to abstain from physical intimacy with other people until my immune system manages to get rid of the infection. In the worst case, these could take 4 years. I believe the Stoic thing to do is to accept that I have no control over how long this could take and learn from this to prevent harming others in the future. Actually, I think I've learned a significant moral lesson here. I used her as a means to gain momentary pleasure, and I paid for it with my integrity. So I might as well use this obstacle as a way to strengthen my moral fiber. From now on, it seems there is not much to do besides offering her all my support and friendship, and I use the word friendship as opposed to the romantic relationship which I wished for and which my bad luck has deprived me of. I conceive romantic relationships to be defined by physical intimacy, but maybe there is a broader experience to them. You may think I've figured out how to proceed, but I'm having trouble dealing with the anxiety of losing her, as if it would be just to ask her to wait for me to get cured. Any Stoic advice that you could add would be really helpful. Well, you seem to me to have in fact figured out exactly what happened and why, and moreover how to move forward with it. The fact that you still feel anxiety at the prospect of losing this woman is natural and probably unavoidable. Seneca acknowledges that even the wise person is bound to experience feelings since he is still a human being. And there is a quote, "For natural faults of body or mind are not removed by any amount of wisdom. What is innate and implanted may be mitigated by treatment but not overcome. This is not cast out by any amount of wisdom. If wisdom could erase all a person's faults, then wisdom would have nature itself in charge." And there is another one. "For there are some things, dear Lucilius, that no amount of virtue can escape. Nature gives the virtues a reminder of their own mortality, so they will change expression at sad events and shudder at sudden events and grow dizzy when looking down from a great height. This is not fear, but a natural effect, or affect, which cannot be assailed by reason." and another one. I come now to the point you're expecting from me, lest it should seem that what we call virtue strays outside the natural order. The wise person will tremble and feel pain and grow pale, for all these things are feelings of the body. As I have pointed out elsewhere, philosophy is not a magic wand. It can't cure us of all unpleasant emotions. It just provides us with good tools to deal with such emotions, but it is far from a negligible thing. Negligible or something. All of the above said, let me point out a couple of things that stand out to me for your narrative. First off, don't pay attention to your friend, the one who minimizes the importance of what you did. Well, the fact that luckily the condition does not have major consequences, though, as you say, it is costly and painful to take care of, which comes to me like a significant consequence, is irrelevant. The point is that you have violated the trust of a person you care about because you were incapable of denying assent to certain impressions, as the Stoics would say, and because you were not sufficiently courageous to be upfront with her. I'm not writing this to make you feel bad, nor to condemn you. I'm trying to be helpful, and it isn't my place to pass judgment on others. And I do want to point out that very recently, a very good friend of mine, shout out to you, and you know who you are if you listen to this. A very good friend of mine was so kind to say something that I don't want to hear. But the thing is, often those things that we don't want to hear are those things that we should be hearing. Things that we should keep in mind, things that we should have in mind, things that are important. And I then had to think about it. I really had to think about things. My values, me as a person, what I'm doing as a person, and so on and so on and so on. And it led to really important thoughts and really important things that I had that in mind. I was also thinking about them before, but nobody said them to me. Even though it kind of saddened me in the first place, I was actually very grateful that he said it to me. Which, by the way, also underlines how good of a friend a person is, I think. Because I don't need somebody that tells me that everything that I'm doing is right. I need somebody, or I want people around me that are honest to me, and that are telling me if I'm doing some bullshit. And he has always been like that, and I actually tremendously appreciate that. People that are really honest, and really are telling me, and, well, basically, I've forgotten the word. Anyway, it's amazing. Keep such people around you. This doesn't mean that you should be keeping people around you that are fucking mad and whatever and are always saying negative shit towards you. No, doesn't make any sense. There is another quote. Someone bathes in haste. Don't say he bathes badly, but in haste. Someone drinks a lot of wine. Don't say he drinks badly, but a lot. Until you know their reasons, how do you know that their actions are vicious? In Hydrion 45. And this is amazing. This is an amazing fucking quote. I'm actually so grateful that I'm fucking reading that. Someone bathes in haste. Don't say he bathes badly, but in haste. Someone drinks a lot of wine. Don't say he drinks badly, but a lot. Until you know their reasons, how do you know what their actions are vicious? That the actions are vicious. I am rather describing what happened from a neutral yet stoically informed perspective. While there is no point in indulging in regard and self-pity, there is a point in learning from one's past mistakes, which in turn requires to clearly see certain actions as mistakes, resisting the temptation to minimize them regardless of the advice of a well-intentioned friend. Second, you seem ambivalent about the future of your relationship with this woman. You fear that any chance at romance is lost, yet you say that she seems to have forgiven you. Then again, you appear to blame your condition for not being able to continue the relationship. My advice here is to practice both the highly interrelated virtues of courage and justice. Talk openly to this woman. Ask her if she is still willing to pursue a romantic relationship with you, taking, of course, proper precautions about your condition, including, if need be, an abstention from physical contact for whatever time is necessary. I don't see the point of torturing yourself with doubt, really. Her answer is outside of your control, and of course, you will have to accept it, whatever it is. But asking honestly and straightforwardly is most definitely within your power. So what on earth are you waiting for? Finally, I am sympathetic to your resolve to use the experience and your endurance of the condition for an open-ended period of time as a way to practice your Stoic philosophy. Just so long as you don't fall into the temptation of transforming this into a Christian-like exercise in self-flagellation. Stoic humility and willingness to learn are a good thing, but there is no such thing as Stoic expiration of sins. I'm gonna see you next time. Bye bye.